boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money, and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Seen Gervonta Davis and another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
Fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement.
Floyd Mayweather has once again sent shockwaves through the boxing world after calling out Jake Paul in the wake of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's fight being cancelled due to Tank's ongoing legal issues. Mayweather didn't hold back, making it clear that he's fully prepared to step in and face Jake himself. This time, he insisted it would be a real, sanctioned fight rather than another exhibition. Floyd also stated he has no intention of moving up or waiting, suggesting the bout would take place strictly under professional rules. The bold challenge has sparked intense debate, with fans questioning whether Mayweather is seriously planning a true return to the ring.
But at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is he someone you're interested in, or no?
Well, if you go back, you gotta do your homework, look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather. He said, I'm only doing real fights. And of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money.
Because of the lawsuit and ongoing investigation, Gervonta Davis's highly promoted exhibition with Jake Paul has been cancelled. Most Valuable Promotions released a statement confirming they are reviewing the situation and will not move forward with the event under the current circumstances.
He was supposed to be boxing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way, way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th.
Davis is currently facing a civil lawsuit filed by his former girlfriend, Courtney Rosal, over an alleged incident on October 27th at the Miami nightclub where she works. Rosal's complaint accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She alleges Davis dragged and assaulted her through multiple areas of the club, including a stairwell, the kitchen, and the parking garage. Miami Gardens authorities have confirmed that a criminal investigation is actively underway alongside the civil case.
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami.
Chael Sonnen recently addressed the chaos surrounding the rumored cancellation of the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta "Tank" Davis fight, explaining that he personally contacted both camps to uncover the truth. Sonnen said he reached out to Jake's representatives and Tank's team to verify whether the reports were legitimate, but neither side offered a clear response. Their refusal to confirm or deny anything, he noted, only intensified suspicions that something serious was unfolding behind the scenes. According to Sonnen, when both fighters stay silent, It often signals that the issue goes beyond simple scheduling problems, hinting at deeper legal and promotional complications affecting the event.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched them weigh in, I want to say it was...
With Tank's fight now in jeopardy, Floyd Mayweather has stepped forward and called out Jake Paul. Mayweather has been blunt in his assessment of Jake's boxing skills. While he acknowledges Paul's success in the crossover scene and admits he's entertaining, he still stops short of viewing him as a legitimate boxer. Floyd has even suggested that a fight with Jake would be too easy, implying Paul poses little threat to someone of his experience. He also stressed that although Jake has built a lucrative niche, stepping into the ring with a true elite fighter would quickly expose the gap in his technique, training, and overall competition level.
There are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability? Or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's going to continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not going to be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's, where his mindset's at.
Additionally, Mayweather's refusal to grant rematches left many fans believing unanswered questions remained. In contrast, Jake Paul has often faced opponents who were much older, past their prime, or significantly smaller. Mayweather has repeatedly cautioned about the level of Jake's competition, even while acknowledging his entertainment appeal. He warned that once Paul steps in with a true elite fighter, the result could expose his limitations.
The question is just with like Logan Paul and then Jake Paul now fighting Mike soon in the summer, what do you think defines a real boxer? Because I feel like people are still confused on if Jake Paul is a YouTuber boxer or a real boxer. How do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
What he's doing is, kind of cool if he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Meanwhile, several fighters and analysts praise Floyd Mayweather not only for his speed and defense but for his mindset. They argue that his true advantage was his unshakable self-belief, the conviction that he could beat anyone. Tony Jeffries, for example, has highlighted how Mayweather's confidence and mental edge often allowed him to control fights before they even started.
They're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
You fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete, or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
And if you watch his fight in 2013, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of shit.
Reports also suggest that Mayweather is now pursuing a fight with Mike Tyson, and analysts say this move is about more than another payday. They believe Floyd is motivated by a desire to prove he can still command the spotlight long after retirement. With all attention on the Davis-Paul ordeal, Mayweather appears unwilling to let anyone, even his protege, outshine him. Observers call it classic Floyd, a man driven by attention, competition, and legacy. While Gervonta and Jake prepare for their own spectacle, Floyd's rumored matchup points to a larger reality: the ongoing battle among boxing legends to remain relevant in a rapidly evolving sports landscape.
So many celebrities and so many people that are known, where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether...
According to multiple reports, Jake Paul's promotional team is actively contacting several high-profile fighters as potential replacements for Gervonta Davis, whose upcoming bout has been thrown into serious doubt due to legal allegations. Among the names circulating, one stands out above all: Terence Crawford. Rumors suggest Paul's team has reached out to the undefeated pound-for-pound star as a possible opponent, a move that would dramatically elevate the stakes and legitimacy of the event. However, nothing has been confirmed publicly. Crawford has not agreed to anything, and any discussions appear to be extremely early and largely speculative. Still, the possibility alone has sparked major buzz, with fans questioning whether Paul's team is now shifting toward a far more credible and significantly more dangerous opponent than originally planned.
Technically, technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement: Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is. He's just a big name, good-looking kid, great fighter, fast hands, and he's quite controversial as well. So that'd be a good fight, but the weight disparity, again, is too big. So for me, when I say it'd be a good fight, it'd be interesting to see how Ryan Garcia would go against Jake Paul. But to be honest, Jake Paul's far too big for him. Who else we've got? Terence Crawford. I can't see Terence Crawford entertaining this, but then you never know, do you? If the old bunts make sense, then it makes people do strange things. And Terence Crawford's getting on that, what's he, 37, 38 years old, had a great win against Canelo. Would he jump in with Jake Paul for mega money? Probably. He'd paced him as well. I mean, Terence Crawford did too much for Jake Paul, even though he's up at 168 in his last fight, super middleweight, my old weight division. So I don't think Jake Paul would fight him. Francis Ngannou, I mean, why even chuck Ngannou in the mix? Ngannou would just hammer him, he's too big. I mean, he talked about Anthony Joshua, that never happened, did it? It's a load of bollocks. He talked about fighting AJ, then announced he's fighting someone the size of one of AJ's legs in Gervonta Davis. So for me, that's nothing. And the Nate Diaz fight, he's already fought him. It was a rubbish.
Many critics were already opposed to the idea of Jake Paul facing Gervonta "Tank" Davis, and former world champion Carl Froch has been especially outspoken. Froch has blasted the matchup as essentially a rubbish fight, arguing it holds little genuine competitive value. He points to Paul's limited boxing credentials compared to Davis's elite skill and experience, insisting the gap is simply too wide. Froch dismisses Paul as more of a spectacle-driven boxer than a legitimate contender, and argues the bout would never satisfy true boxing purists. For him, the issue isn't who would win, but whether the fight deserves to be treated as a serious professional-level contest at all.
Absolute clown world. Really fitting for fake Paul, the clown, because it's a clown show. You're putting him in with somebody who's 100 pounds lighter. I mentioned the weight disparity before. Getting on for 7 stone. It's a weight-governed sport. It should not be happening. He's too small, Gervonta Davis, against the big Jake Paul, who's in the gym a lot, training. Apparently he's fit and strong and he has a go and he can fight a little bit, which I disagree with, because I don't think he can. He might be able to fight a little bit. He certainly can't box. But these allegations against Gervonta Davis, they're very serious allegations. Anybody that's laying hands on women needs to be shut down straight away. For me, they need to be locked up in the key.
Amir Khan labeled the matchup a severe mismatch, criticizing promoters for approving what he compared to torture. He argued that putting Davis in a ring under such conditions is simply unfair. With Jake Paul weighing well over 200 pounds and Davis having never competed above roughly 140, Khan called the pairing dangerous and exploitative. He even questioned whether Davis is simply looking to cash out and step away from the sport, given the massive physical disparity.
The way he looks himself, the way he acts, and just full of himself as well, and he thinks he can fight, and he's only been boxing for what, like a year. But he's been very lucky though. He has he's had some good wins against like MMA fighters. He's a little bit heavier than me, but I don't mind putting the pounds on.
Some critics are questioning why the fight needed to be cancelled at all, arguing that Tank is still physically fit and fully capable of competing despite his legal troubles. They note that many athletes in the past have continued to fight while facing active charges, suggesting the decision may have been driven more by public image and corporate optics than genuine concern for the fighters. These fans believe that if Tank was prepared to step into the ring, promoters should have allowed the event to continue, especially given the massive hype and financial stakes. Others, however, argue that the seriousness of the allegations made moving forward impossible, as proceeding could have triggered a major backlash for everyone involved.
So, did Gervonta Davis's cancellation of his fight with Jake Paul, was it the right decision from Jake Paul, his team, and Netflix? Did they make the right move to cancel the Gervonta Davis fight? I want to know y'all thoughts in the comment section. We'll probably do a longer video on this later, but I want y'all to interact and let me know y'all thoughts. Now that we know the fight is canceled, they announced it late yesterday while we were in the middle of our live stream. What is your thoughts? Do you think the fight should have been canceled? Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you.
What's your take on all this? Should Floyd Mayweather step in to fight Jake Paul? Or should promoters wait until Tank resolves his legal issues? Share your thoughts in the comments below.